Lindsay. Okay, so tell me about an exercise habit or goal that you have that you want to kind of reach into in the next couple months or short period of time.
Yeah, well, I love running and I've never done a marathon before, so I'd love to complete a marathon.
Okay, marathon, that's awesome. What kind of intrigues you about running? How long have you been running? That kind of thing. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I started running with my dad when I was 10 and I've really enjoyed it ever since. And I've been on the club triathlon team here at GCU, so that's when I really started getting into more endurance training and long distance running. And I've completed a half marathon before, but never a full marathon.
Okay, perfect. When was that half marathon? Was it recent or?
The half marathon was back in May of 2024.
May of 2024. Okay, so it's been a couple months. So what has kind of your exercise habit looked like ever since then? Have you stayed consistent with running? Where are you feeling as far as your endurance training and your conditioning? How do you feel?
Yes, I've been in my club triathlon season right now, training for a sprint triathlon, which is about a 3-mile 5K run. So I've definitely haven't been up to my long distance training as I was doing for that half marathon. So I would say the last time I ran my longest run was about 5 miles back in late October.
Okay, definitely. So with you being kind of in a different type of season, we're definitely going to have to change your running style and running habits as we start to gear towards a marathon. So what kind of date are you looking as far as a marathon and wanting to complete that?
I would say a good date would be May of 2025, just so I feel like I have enough time to kind of work back up.
Perfect. So when does this season that you're in now end? And especially with the holidays, are you going to have a little break? Will there be a different kind of plan as far as training? How will that go?
Yes, my season ends technically December 14th, which is my sprint triathlon race. So then I'll probably take a little break for the holidays before I start training again.
Perfect. Okay, so maybe that we can kind of plan for January 1st as a good start date. We can really start to ease you back into maybe 3 to 4 days of training and start to really gear you up towards May to be able to get that full marathon in. As far as the running goes, are you going to be doing this with somebody? Are you going to be by yourself? Do you have a training partner that's going to be involved with this?
As I'm graduating and moving in December, I don't think that I'll have a partner doing this with me, so it'll be on my own.
Okay. Will you be living in Arizona, or will you be kind of in a colder area with your moving, or how will that kind of implement?
I will be in California, Northern California, so it doesn't get super cold in January, but it'll definitely be in the 40s, 50s, and then it'll get back up into the 60s, 70s. It's not bad weather, no snow, which is good.
Beautiful. Okay, well, I'm excited for you. We're definitely gonna be able to put you on the right track, and good luck with the rest of your season. Let's get back together and get you on a marathon.
Tell me about an exercise goal that you've been working towards or had in mind the last few months.
Definitely, yeah. So a big goal of mine within the next couple months is I want to beat and break the all-time squat record. And so this is kind of something I've been working towards for the past couple of years. I've been super involved with both the bodybuilding game and then the powerlifting game as well, that my dad got me into when I was real little. So this is definitely a goal that I'm looking to kind of get within the next couple months.
That's awesome. Tell me more about this squat record. Is there a specific weight class you're doing it in? Is there a specific time that it's happening that you want to reach that goal by?
Yeah, so for my weight class, I have to weigh under 275 pounds. So that'll definitely be kind of something that we'll have to look into to play into. And then that record is just over 900 pounds, so it's 905 pounds that I'm hoping to squat. Come in the next couple months.
Where's this record coming from? Is it based on just Arizona, in the world?
Yeah,
Small part of your gym?
Yeah, no, so this is definitely more of a personal record for me, but it also will align with the USPA powerlifting. So it will be kind of a nationwide squat record.
That's awesome. Is there any person that you have to support you now as you kind of continue through that goal?
Definitely, yeah. So I do have a nutrition coach, so he definitely plays a role into it. And then my dad as well. He's more just the motivation side of it. He's kind of been a part of this from the very beginning, so he loves to kind of stay up to tune with it and that kind of thing.
That's awesome. Is there any sort of training regimen you have right now? What's that going to look like around the holidays coming up and the semester ending?
Yeah, so I do play collegiate lacrosse now, so my training is definitely a little bit different than it has been. We aren't going and focusing as much on the heavy squats as I'll definitely need to in the coming months and wanting to complete this goal. So that kind of training will definitely need to change. But right now, we're working out about 3 times a week, and then we're on the field as well. So my training will definitely have to be a little different.
Yeah, for sure. When does this lacrosse training end?
So we'll be done with lacrosse in April, and I'm looking to complete this in October of next year.
Oh, awesome. So definitely after that season ends, obviously try and keep up with the weight training throughout the lacrosse season, but once that season ends, maybe through the summer, definitely hit it hard a few times a week training for that squat max, so then you can have that endurance and that strength before you do it, obviously, because you can't do it without the strength.
Absolutely.
Is there any other barriers or struggles you're anticipating?
So I have recently torn my ACL, so I'm not exactly sure how that will kind of play into it. I know that squatting doesn't necessarily, you don't need an ACL, but definitely with the inflammation, that'll probably play a bit of a role into it. And
Yeah,
keeping
for
that
sure. We'll definitely have to keep you up with some rehab, making sure that knee stays strong, but I think we have a good goal in mind here.
definitely.
Let's get you to it.
Cool.
Tell me about an exercise goal or a health goal that you have that you want to complete within the next few months, 6 months to a year.
One big exercise goal that I have is hiking the Grand Canyon. It's not something I've ever done before, and I'm hoping to do that around this time next year. So
Cool, that's awesome. Now tell me, what inspired you to want to hike the Grand Canyon?
So I grew up hiking around with my mom in the various places we lived, and I kind of grew a passion for it. Not something I specifically focused on growing up, but kind of as I left high school and wanted to do something more active, I stepped into that role a little bit more.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love it. What would you say your current fitness hiking level is at right now?
Unfortunately, probably not as good as it has been, just because of school and some health issues that have gone in the way. So not quite where I wanted to be.
That's okay. In the past, how were you training for hiking in the Rocky Mountains?
So I really just would do hikes every weekend as much as I could. Hiking in different elevations is really good, just training for your oxygen supply. I lived up there, so it wasn't as big of a change for me, but even hiking in the mountains is difficult. So just hiking around the area, we stayed up in the mountains for a little bit to get acclimated. So
That's cool. I love it. That's awesome. Would you say, what is the way that you want to train for hiking the Grand Canyon? Would you say you want to do more stuff in the gym, or you want to train more outside?
around this time of year, I would love to try to hit more exercise outside, just because it is such a nice time of the year, and hopefully going on hikes at least a couple times a month, I would say right now, just because of the health barriers. And then hopefully as the health gets better and the weather gets warmer, transitioning back to inside, maybe doing more endurance training inside.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Tell me, what is your experience with the stair stepper in the gym?
I do it a lot. It's a way that I was training previously a couple months ago when I was working on that endurance for hiking.
Cool.
So something I hit often. I also like to do the treadmill, working on some aerobic endurance.
Yeah, that's awesome. Stair stepper and treadmill are definitely going to be very helpful during the heat of Phoenix and Arizona, so that's awesome. Tell me, what are some barriers you foresee in training for this?
Probably the biggest one is finding the time to do it. School is hard, so it takes a little bit of time doing that, but that and working on getting my health where it needs to be. So
cool, awesome. Well, just a couple of ways that we can overcome those barriers together is definitely working on time managing, having a planner and a schedule, and being able to adjust how much time we're spending for school versus how much time we're spending for training, and being able to be quick on our feet and being able to adjust here and there. But
for sure.
Awesome, we'll get you hiking the Grand Canyon within
Thank
a year.
you.